Tucker, we're going to go to you for a new segment. As I mentioned, we're going to get out of here. And who is your must start this week? And your must
with a
sit?
lot of injuries at quarterback. I'm leaning Daniel Jones against that Indianapolis defense. They've allowed the fifth most rushing touchdowns to opposing quarterbacks this season. Daniel Jones is fifth among quarterbacks in rushing fantasy points this year. I think if they're going to score, it's probably going to be on the ground. It's going to be a lot of Saquon Barkley, a lot of him. If you're a team that has Jalen Hurts or maybe another Tua Tagovailoa or one of the other injured quarterbacks, he could certainly be an option with that rushing upside. And then my must sit, and this is with a caveat if Trace McSorley starts, is DeAndre Hopkins. I just don't think Trace McSorley can get him the ball. He was targeted 10 times in their one game together, and he had one catch for 4 yards. I know DeAndre Hopkins sitting on your bench seems like a ridiculous thing, but if Trace McSorley's their quarterback, I just can't trust him to get him the ball at any point this weekend.
All right. So for me, I am going to sit anyone that Malik Willis is aiming a football at. He was historically bad. And it was amazing that we had as much talk about him in the off season as being somebody that you would, that might have a future in this league, because he looked completely like he couldn't complete a pass. And as far as must start, well, I'm going to say Rachaad White, even if Uncle Lenny plays. If we hear that Lenny's playing, he could end up not playing halfway through the game. I think Rachaad White is a great guy to start this week. Someone who has a floor and actually has a ceiling that is pretty unlimited if Lenny ends up pulling up lame in the middle of the game. All right, that's mine. Curtis, now it's your turn to close us out this week.
Sure, I'm going to go to a land I never go to, and that's Packerland. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm not allowed to like the Packers, but Allen Lazard, I probably don't have him on many teams, but if I had him, I'm firing him in. Just a great matchup, regardless if Watson plays or doesn't play. So Lazard still commands a few targets. I'm starting him, and I'm sitting Aaron Jones because he just didn't get on the field enough, and he's obviously got something going on, and I don't know if he can be trusted yet this week. So give me Lazard, and I'll sit Aaron Jones just because he's not really reliable right now.
All right, that's going to do it. I want to thank my co-hosts, Curtis Hirsch and Tucker Bagley, for another great show. We've got one more next week where we'll finish out the season. And make sure you check out the other 3 shows: the Sharp Betting Show with Ryan McChrystal, Sharp Angles with Dan Pizzuta and Rich Rebar, Sharp Angles Fantasy with Rich Rebar and fantasy experts. Of course, subscribe to Warren Sharp on YouTube for fantasy football insights and all good things that come from one of the smartest guys in the space. And don't forget to leave a comment. We would really appreciate it also if you would like it. That's going to do it for us this week, and we will see you next week.